welcome people, this is Lurker. Yeah, I used to be known as Cricket Gamerlog, but I decided that I don't jive with that name anymore, so I switched over to a slightly different way of, doing things, and, well, I've been getting used to the nickname Lurker, so I switched over to that. So, let's try this channel on you, shall we? I know I've been gone for a year again. And this time I'm back with a speed paint. What did I tell you about the speed paint, honestly? So, I wanted to record a speed paint yesterday already, actually, but it didn't work out quite how I wanted it to, because the recording software, aka OBS, decided to tell me, nope, they're not gonna record. So, okay, fine enough, I give in. So I start, today, but I had no ideas what to do, so I asked somebody on a server that belongs to Ginja Ninja OWO, because that's how it's pronounced apparently. On her server, I asked, hey, somebody give me a random idea what to draw. I want to draw a speed paint and I have no ideas. And somebody went, draw a Croissant Man. Or anything that I imagine while hearing Croissant Man. I absolutely didn't know what to do. And what's worse, I look up random palettes and I ask my friends, I see a palette with 15 different palette types, and I was like, okay, somebody give me a number from 1 to 15, and a friend of mine gives me the number 10. You'll see in a second why that's a bad idea, because the colors were... I mean, there's only 4 colors. One of them I used even in shading, not even in coloring, but... I don't know what... I looked at the color, I looked at the concept. I want to be a concept artist, I have to work off of the stupidest things, but... Croissant Man! Really? I mean, I went with it anyway. I'm sorry, I'm laughing this whole entire video because... as you can see, I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying in this one because, I am so lost in the concept. I just go, for some reason, the idea of a Croissant Man makes me think of a chef who pops out a gosh darn who knows where with a croissant and aggressively offers it to you while trying to look all smug and pretty like Sanji from One Piece. I don't know what was my thought process. I understand a lot of things. I understand many different things in life, but I don't understand how did I even come to this. But I mean, hey, I don't mind, it actually came out pretty okay, what with my lazy drawing, because this is actually done pretty lazily. I could do better if I wasn't flummoxed as hard as I was. I don't even know how did I put in that much effort, just good lord. But yeah, regarding what's going on with this channel, but I'm not sure I wrote Croissant right in that moment, I'm looking at the recording. I'm not sure if I wrote Croissant right, but I just went with it at this point. But yeah, I absolutely don't know what to do with this channel currently, and I decided to go a slightly different direction. I want to go... You all know I want to work in video games. At least I've mentioned that in previous videos, I think. Well, I want to work as a concept artist and as a designer. Now, to be a designer, you would need a degree, obviously, which I don't have. I was studying to become a Japanese language and culture major, so, but that's not design, and I dropped out of university because of personal family problems. Well, because of that, I ended up, kind of cheated out of, my art degree, and I don't know, I just didn't know what to do with myself at this point. But, there's also the option of being a concept artist, which is slightly less degree heavy. It requires you to understand art and to be able to function on the spot, at least according to Riot Games, which is where I learned of this position properly. I thought the designer did both concept and the main art, apparently not. Concept artist is separate. And basically what is mostly required of a concept artist is the ability to draw to begin with, and also the ability to think on the spot and come up with new designs and ideas, from even the smallest of descriptions. So for what it's worth, this is actually pretty good for me, I guess. You know, I was just given the term Croissant Man and then just like do whatever. It's like, okay. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's not late, but it's actually putting me to sleep a little. But yeah, I also have been starting on working on my own portfolio as well, finally, so I hope to hit it out somewhere in the art world. Hopefully into video games or animation maybe. Not as an animator or programmer, but I mean at least concept artist, storyboard artist. We'll see about what the future holds. Yeah, I decided to switch to a darker background, not dark enough to hide my lines, and I noticed a lot of places where I've made mistakes. Now, I stopped worrying about drawing within the lines at some point, because I remember a thing I do when I draw is that if colors go over the line, I can always select the area outside of the line art and, fill it in. So, I mean, not fill it in, jeez, what am I saying? Delete it. So, I decided to stop being so precious about line work and just going over it a little bit. The color palette, as you can see right now, is very pastel. It's this pink and teal colors. And I'm finally starting to use them as eye color. And such. I was struggling with what do I use what color for. And then I decided to use the lighter color as the shirt color. The pink as that chef shirt, jacket thingy. I don't even know what to call it. It's not that much of a big difference, but I don't know. I looked at this character, it looked like he would wear like these sort of pastel light colors. Probably to come off as more cute to all the ladies he's probably hitting on with his croissants. I still flummoxed at the concept. I'm just imagining this French dude going like, "Oh, lady!" and just dashing at you with his croissants if you're having a bad day and just be like, "Don't be hospital." I have no idea what the butt in my head made it sound like a good idea. But I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. At first I was mulling over like a Mega Man design, but then I was like, good lord, I know Mega Man is already like Crash Man being a little drill, Pop Man. They have a freaking Daedro! It's like they have a spinning top as the character, so it's like I could have made a Croissant Man that way, but I was like, my brain is currently on such a zero, I can't even do that much. But, I mean, at least, something similar sense, I guess. Oh, you might recognize the hairstyle and color after Adrian Agreste from Miraculous Ladybug. Because when I think of French dude, that's pretty much what I think of. It's like, I didn't make exactly after him, but like, he was the main inspiration when I was thinking of hair color and style. Like Sanji from One Piece and Adrian from Miraculous. God, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, what made me think this is at all a good idea? It doesn't look bad, at least not in my opinion. I could do better, but I could also do worse. Now, coloring the croissant became a big pain in my neck later. Because I haven't drawn much in terms of pastries. Like, I've drawn cakes, but like, covered in fondant and all that good stuff, so it would usually be very colorful. I never tried to draw a pastry that doesn't have its main color already. Also, you can see I often keep coming back in and fixing up the colors in some areas where I colored over by accident. That's how I usually do my art process. It just is a bit easier for me that way. To just keep going back in, out, in, out. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I've seen croissants that exact color in my life. It's like, I don't know. I distinctly looked at this croissant. I looked at this color and I'm like, it's a cinnamon croissant. Fight me. I don't know why cinnamon came to my mind, but it is, and now it's a thing. Like, it made sense to me in the moment when I was drawing it, I guess. But for what it's worth, that's one big, chunky croissant. I would actually want that. If somebody would walk up to me and go like, hey, I have a croissant for you, and would offer me that, I would be really glad. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm hungry. But like, yeah, now I'm going in and cleaning up the colors that went over a little. As you can see, it's much better now. I still, though, usually, I know nobody notices these small tiny pixels that go over the line art. I've seen multiple artists bigger than me make the same mistake, and nobody ever is bothered by it, but I'm bothered by it. I notice it. Because I usually keep my art with the transparent background, so it usually stands out like a sore thumb. When you have a colored background, sure, it becomes a little bit less noticeable, but I often use transparent backgrounds, and it started annoying me at one point very badly. So it's like, I'd rather have drawn under the line than have these teeny tiny little pixels going out over it. So I erased all of it on top of everything. For later on, you'll see for the background, I didn't really know what to do. I just went with the colors that I could figure out. As you can see, I take the hue tool and I just started finagling it in whatever color. I thought maybe something purple-ish, lavender-ish in the background, like kind of light gray, lavender thing could work. I later kind of do something different with it a little. For shading, I decided to go with purple shading. I even pointed out the lighting source somewhere above. I remember doing that because of a manga book I had as a kid. It would keep telling you like these light points where to draw the light from. And I'm by no means saying I'm good at shading. I'm still practicing a lot when it comes to trying to figure out shading and lighting. But I decided to use an old method that way, so it's a little bit easier. I was thinking of shading over the pants one more time, but the colors clashed a little, and making a double shading doesn't sound like a good idea whatsoever, so I didn't do that. I also didn't go like fine-tuning the hair shading, because I often tend to go in and like shade specific like separate hair sections and so on and so forth. In this case, I was like, this is a quick doodle, just a quick practice of random concept and random color palette. So let's just go with it. Let's just go ham. Now I know the shading currently looks pretty bad, but you'll see later I make it a slightly lighter, slightly less oppressive. So it doesn't look half as purple. Like at first I was looking at that croissant and it's like, god darn, that's the worst croissant I've ever seen, until I fix the lighting. Slightly I make the multiply layer less, less opaque. I make it more transparent and the colors immediately look much better. Yeah, as you can see, it already looks much better. For lighting, at first I tried to go with this pink shading and do add. That which was bad. It made the croissant look as well. So I decided to go with an overlay layer afterwards. I used the same pink color. Just with overlay, it didn't look that bad. Like, I guess add makes it too strong. And I did make the shading for the croissant more orangey, so it doesn't make it like I guess that's the word I'm going for here. So I combined some of the layers already to not keep myself confused. And this is where I was trying to think what, like, oh, I added the hearts and stars because, you know what? To me, it came this idea of this, like, Bishonen anime with these pretty boys who are just always selling hearts and fly and just be, oh no, that's not Bishonen, it's Shoujo. But yeah, he's a bishy dude, so I think that makes sense for terminology here. For the background, I really the background looks so I made it look like there's like a city in the background, like blue sky, streets, kind of misclick there, and then a green grass. But yeah, this is my croissant man. I don't know what I will do next. Maybe I'll ask again, like, for some weird concept from somebody. Anyway, this is Speed Bait over. Thanks for listening, guys, and I hope to see you guys around. Bye!